here. A lot of people like to go out for Valentine's Day. You know, a lot of the time you have to make reservations way in advance. So I like to do stuff at home with my husband. We'll maybe go out for lunch if we're feeling up for it, but a lot of the time we just stay home and we do something like, you know, drink wine or whatever. And I wanted to come up with a way to kind of set up the table a little bit differently, because that's something a lot of people like to do when they have date dinners and things. They set up their table differently. We're gonna go ahead and get started with the tutorial, so let's get started.
Starting with the candle holder, you're going to need a mason jar, an X-Acto knife, some masking tape, paint, and a sponge or brush. You're first going to create the little hearts that you're going to be putting on the mason jar, so that whenever you have it all painted and you pull them off, they're little holes that weren't painted and it shines through as hearts when the candle is lit. So I made mine about 3 pieces of masking tape thick. You can do bigger or smaller, it is up to you. Since I have a bigger mason jar, which by the way I would prefer if I had the smaller one, but it was less expensive to actually get the larger one somehow. Anyway, got sidetracked. So take your X-Acto knife and start cutting out your heart, and you can use a pencil to line this to make sure you get the exact looking heart that you want, but I do things on a whim, y'all, so I'm totally freehanding this. And once you have that heart cut out, you're going to pull that tape down and pull it slowly, because you are playing with 3 pieces of tape here, at least for me, and you're going to have your little heart that you're going to peel off the counter and then just stick it onto your mason jar. And once you have your hearts on and whatever type of pattern that you want, take your sponge or brush and paint on that paint. Now I got an all-purpose paint, but any paint that's specifically made for glass would look better. But I kind of like this sponge here because it creates this really cool rustic looking sort of texture. But if you're a little bit more smooth fan, go with a brush. And I decided to just add a little bit of extra fun around the rim and make the texture just slightly different than what's painted on the rest of the glass. And while our candle holder dries, let's work on our big round little flower thing. You're going to need a wine glass, glitter, jewels, a reflective plate that I actually just found at the dollar store, a hot glue gun, and fake flowers, and a round styrofoam ball. I am working with a 6-inch round one. The first order of business is to glitterify the inside of this wine glass, and don't feel the need to use any of the ones you have at home. You can find these for $1 at basically any store, which makes it very nice and very cheap to make this. And you're going to line very generously with that glue, and the brush that I used to paint after I washed it, I just took it and I spread that glue around so I could get even coverage. And after I completed doing that, I poured some glitter in there, and actually the lid that I took from the mason jar, I just put that on top and shook it around. And I did have to go through a couple times with more glitter just so I could get that full complete coverage that I wanted to get. And I suggest doing that too, because I mean there's not going to be anything in there, and it just looks a little bit nicer if you have more glitter. Take your hot glue gun and line the top there of that wine glass, and you're going to stick it on that mirrored plate. Now the glitter does make this kind of difficult to make the hot glue work, and you do kind of have to work fast when you use hot glue. So don't worry if you have some trouble sticking this on at first. You can take the edge of the wine glass and put hot glue around it and continue to push down hard on it. Obviously don't push down too hard because we are working with glass, and the last thing you want is to go to the ER for a $1 wine glass. Am I right? Yes, I'm right. And don't worry too if you see the hot glue on the side, because that is what the jewels are for, people. You gotta hide your mistakes. Just kidding, they're not mistakes, but you know, your messes. It's fine. For this next part, you want to be even more generous with the hot glue, because you're going to stick that styrofoam ball on top, and once again, don't push too hard because you don't want to break anything. And also, you really want to make sure it's on there very well, because the last thing you want is that ball of fake flowers to come rolling into your spaghetti or whatever you're eating. I don't know, you may be eating a little bit more healthy than my husband and I, and that's totally cool. So just be sure, like I said, to put on a lot of hot glue. And the last thing that you need to do to complete this perfect centerpiece for your Valentine's dinner is to just stick those fake flowers in that styrofoam ball. Don't worry about putting glue at the bottom of the stems. They stay in there just fine in the styrofoam if you stick them in there hard enough. And try to pick a wide variety of colors because it looks just a little bit nicer.
Before I completely go, I do have a giveaway going on. I hit 100 subscribers, so I'm giving away the Urban Decay Shadow Box eyeshadow palette. I decided that I will open it internationally. I forgot to mention anything like that in my video. Somebody had asked, so it is open internationally. I'll post that link below. You do have to be subscribed to be considered to be entered because it is my thank you for my subscribers. It wouldn't make sense if I just randomly gave it away. So I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and if you do like what I'm posting, be sure to hit that red button down below and like this video. And I also have social media accounts if you just want to see what I'm doing, which is usually a lot of nothing, but it's fine. Hope you all have a blessed and beautiful day. Thanks again for watching. Bye-bye.